0 hour strikes, the clock ticks down. Rise from the ashes, wear your crown. No fear, no chains, break the mold, forge your destiny, fierce and bold.
And we are live. We'll pretend we're live anyway. Welcome everybody to another 0 hour where I am joined by my two great friends here. And hopefully we'll have our guest. He's having a little bit of computer issues, but half ready, you kick it off. Tell everybody who you are.
Well, I'm Mark and I'm half-ass ready. But going to have a good time tonight. I know we've already got some questions in the chat, so it's going to be a good time. But I do want to take this minute to wish every jarhead, leatherneck, crayon-eating fool happy birthday tomorrow. 250 years of badassery. So
yes,
thank you for what you do.
Yes. And OVP, who are you?
I'm OVP. Hi, everybody. We do prepping and preparedness and try to get a little bit of humor because, you got to have a little bit of laughs every now and then. In the immortal words of Mr. Jimmy Buffett, if we couldn't laugh, we'd all go insane. So hopefully our guest gets his technical difficulties worked out. Not that I could help him any because I'm technologically handicapped as well. But if not, you'll just be stuck with the three of us tonight. So.
And we'll see how it all goes, which let me go ahead and put the little ticker down here at the bottom. That's right. If you guys have a question, comic, topic, anything that you want to talk about, this is how this show runs, is completely 100% off the chat. And so drop them in and we will kick things off. But while everybody's doing that, half ready, you just took a mag trip this week and you want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah, it was cool. My mag, and like all of y'all's mutual assistance group, is probably a lot of family or at least close friends. And we go bear hunting in Robbinsville as a family. My father-in-law started it 40 years ago. So we go to the same place. So I get to spend the very long weekend with my mag. And be perfectly honest with you, I made a few videos. We talked a lot, but I bought a new phone and my videos didn't transfer over. So, well, I think because I had no signal there and they didn't go to the cloud. And when I done the transfer, they didn't come. So anyway, you know what? I can get any of them on there anytime I want to. But no, it was great. It's again, we talked about Bug Out Weekend, how much fun it is to hang around like-minded people to start with, right? So conversation goes where you enjoy it to go. Of course, there's a bunch of buffoonery with these guys, and we had a good time, and we laughed a lot. But at the end of the day, man, when you can just spend, 72 hours with your mag with absolutely no TV, no cell phone, real conversations happen about real things that could happen. So I suggest it. I suggest for everybody, if you go to a place where you still have cell signal, turn the damn things off. Yeah. We had an AM radio, right? We had an AM radio. We listened to a little bit of real old country music. If we've done anything electronic, that's how it was. So, no, it was a great trip. And, they're having a good time, aren't they?
Yeah.
But, it was great. I mean, I suggest everybody plan. You don't have to. You have to do what we do. 3 days. But it'd be great just to have a day.
Yes.
I wore my Ohio State hat for Billy tonight. So
good.
Yeah. Well, Billy's a diehard Blue.
Very good. Well, OVP, what did you do this weekend?
You know what? I've had a little bit of a cold. I didn't do much of anything. I did a little bit of winterizing, and other than that, I took Theraflu and watched YouTube. No, I did get a video. I did got a video done for the other channel, and I got a little bit of stuff done, but I was a little under the weather, so I didn't get a lot done.
There's your first one right there. What was the moment or event that first made you realize the importance of prepping? And you know what? It just looks like OVP is itching to say his answer. So you go first.
Well, you know, I mean, growing up the way I did, we were kind of always preppers. I mean, we always had, before it was popular, right? I mean, we always had canned foods, and we, you know, my cat is going insane in there. We had a big garden, my grandfather did, and you know, we snapped beans and canned stuff and did all that and that. But you know, when I moved out on my own, when the whole Y2K thing hit, I was out in Las Vegas, and you know, I worked in the casino, so we had an employee buffet. Like, I ate at work. I didn't have food and stuff in the house. And I realized that, you know what, I looked in my refrigerator and I had a 6-pack of beer and a frozen pizza. And that's it. And I thought, you know what, if something would have happened, now nothing did happen, but if something would have happened, I'd have been in big trouble. I'd lasted about 5 minutes. So that's when I really started going, okay, I need to have some supplies on hand and be ready for if something happened. So I guess for me, the wake up call was the whole Y2K thing that ended up not happening.
Yep, I can see that. Half Ready, what about you? What was your event?
Well, you know, Y2K didn't affect me because I didn't really understand why it should affect me. But when I saw what happened, not only the severity of Katrina, but what happened to those poor people during Katrina and then afterwards, the distrust of not expecting anybody to help me, but the distrust of what happened with the local authorities there. I mean, they had people living on, you know, dying in the Superdome, and they were busy driving around people's neighborhoods to take their guns because they were afraid they were going to shoot each other. So, you know, and then, but at that point, I knew that I needed to get serious. Again, I'm like OVP and you. We grew up country. We grew up canning and preparing. I mean, you know, my wife and I never. You would never catch us in our home without several days of food, probably a week. I mean, we actually budgeted when we first married because we didn't have any damn money. So we went, you know, we would buy groceries for the week, right? So we were good for a week, no matter what. I since realized that, and of course, Helene was a huge wake-up call, and so was COVID. But you know, the Hurricane Katrina, and maybe because there was so much more television coverage about it that we know, not that this probably didn't happen before, but that one, I guess, so much television coverage, we were much more aware, and the internet was available. You could see what was happening from real people's perspective, and yeah, it got me real serious about not banking on anybody but me to help me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems like it's different for everybody, and it needs to be that personalization. I don't really, and I don't know about you guys, that might be our next question. I've never heard anybody go, I watched this weird guy on YouTube and it just clicked that maybe I should buy some extra beans. Have you guys ever heard somebody say that?
No.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
I've never heard anybody say that, but we get new people in our little chats and that every now and then. They go, you know what?
Something else pushes them there.
Yeah,
their personal SHTF makes them come to YouTube to answer a question.
Yeah,
it me. How I got here.
Yeah, and guys, if anybody in the chat has any questions, you can email any of us or half the other people in the chat. You know, whoever you're comfortable talking with, and ask away, man. If we don't know the answer, we'll find somebody that does. So,
Yes. I saw our second question. So, question number 2: do you think prepping has gone mainstream, or is it still viewed as fringe? And we'll reverse this way. So, half ready. What do you think?
Yeah, I think prepping. Let's put it this way. I think mainstream people know about prepping now, but I don't think actual prepping has gone mainstream. I think a lot of people think, "Oh, what a great idea," but preppers, especially with the group that's probably in this chat right now and us, from what I understand from surveys and other questions people have, it's about 7 or 8% of the people in the United States. That's definitely not mainstream. If that number was wrong by 10%, that's not mainstream. So there's a few of us doing it, really doing it. But I think, yes, it's got more mainstream as far as people being aware that they should be doing it or that people are doing it. And maybe a lot of them don't think we're as crazy as they used to think we are.
Yeah.
I know around here, after last September before last, yeah, they don't think preppers are crazy anymore.
Yeah. Yes. OVP, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's mainstream yet, but it is becoming a little more acceptable. I think there's a lot of like part-time preppers out there now that are, they get a little bit of food and a little bit of wine, which is better than nothing. I mean, having something's always going to be better than nothing.
Yeah.
But there are still a lot of people that think we're crazy,
Mhm.
and think, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. You guys are all just, and hopefully they're right. I mean, hey, if nothing ever happens, then we just had, a good hobby and learned some skills and hopefully pass them along to the kids and the grandkids and that. But, and so hopefully that's the case, but I'm not going to bank on it, not the way things are looking. So yeah, it's not really mainstream yet, but it is becoming more acceptable anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll agree with that. It seems like more people are toning down the names and the rhetoric and the just putting everybody into that one little thing. And
Yeah.
it's starting to become a little bit more normalized. Not saying that more people are doing it per se, but that it's not so taboo of a thing, I would say.
Yeah.
So Vision is going to stroke out here if I don't put this up. Half ready, are you having a bug out weekend?
That is still a definite maybe. So I have the pieces in play. It's a busy time of the year, and you know this, Trent. It's a busy time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
We're winterizing, and we're still cleaning up. We're still so as we get through the holiday season, when we can get. I had a few of those guys at the hunting trip this weekend, and they're still excited about it. And it does take a life of its own, especially when you got good folks helping you. But at the end of the day, you have to, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, Trent, you have to have that commitment in paper. So, Grace, if you don't show up, if I have one, I'm going to be severely disappointed. And I think I need you to bring Badger with you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there'd be a caravan coming from Ohio if you have one.
And look, man, I again, and I love that. I do. I love that. And I enjoyed my trip to Ohio to Visions, and it was wonderful meeting the folks I met and everything. But I promise you, every one of you in the geographical area that you're in right now, you need to have this kind of gathering in your area with as many locals as you can get. That's going to be your community, right? There are very few groups as tight as Vision and his group that would do the mileage that those guys are going to do. So everyone needs to, and that was my big thing. I don't want to do this someplace out in the country. I want to do this someplace where folks can actually, who don't prep, can show up and say, why do you do what you do? How do you do what you do? Right? That's when we're doing the community a service, right? Because that's why we all do what we do. We want our community to succeed in those things. So to the Kakalaki, come on, buddy. I believe I'll probably get my mama to show up too, Vision. I really would love for you to meet my mama. But
Nice.
yeah, the planning's still there. I do not have a date or a solid commitment, but I have not given up, and I hope y'all don't. I'm still kicking.
Yeah, I would like to try to put together, like Mark was saying about, I guess Mark's this way, about local events, some kind of, even just a 1 day little, come and see what it's all about kind of thing in my little area. So, yeah, so I've been thinking about that. I have no plans in the works yet, but that has crossed my mind. So,
Awesome. Let's see. I've picked out a few. So this one has background. So do you think women should be allowed to weld? And here's on the thoughts and the background of this. My daughter has now started taking up welding in school, and you know how the things go about it's a man's thing.
That's friggin' awesome. That's so awesome. Who the hell would tell somebody not to do any damn thing?
Yeah.
Right? This is America. Okay? We're in America. And look, whether it's girly or whether it's not girly, I weld. It's fun. I can understand why any young person, male, female, would want to play with a welder. Now, whether you want to do it for a living or not, it's a hard living. But you just get hard with it. Nah, man, that's insane. Why would you tell a woman not to drive a truck or work on a car? That's ridiculous. Girl, you do what you want to do.
Yeah,
if my niece is you happy, pee on everybody else.
Yep, my niece is a welder. My brother's daughter. That's what she does for a living, and she loves it. So, and I'd never, when she said that's what she wanted to do, it never even crossed my mind that, oh, you're a girl. Yeah, no, I never even thought that once. So
yeah, what the hell? That's insane. Yeah, we're American.
Yes,
that's how we say it down here, Mike.
That's right.
We say your name funny too. It ain't really Mike; it's Mike down here. But
That's right. That's right. Rosie the Riveter. How did we forget?
No, how do we forget?
Yes.
How do you forget that? I mean, those ladies worked those assembly lines, and Rosie the Riveter happened to work in an airplane plant, so it was a Riveter thing. There were women running tank plants.
Oh yeah,
munitions plants. So World War II. We won the war because this country kept 3 secrets: the Norden bomb sight, the atom bomb, and the proximity fuse anti-aircraft shell, right? Those shells were made in an office building in Chicago, Illinois. Hey, they made it in. So those were made in an office building in Chicago, Illinois by 60 women. They made every one of them. And we do not win the war, especially the war in the Pacific, without that proximity fuse. So, yeah, women are so important, but that's beside the point. Yes. This is still America, and you can do what the hell you want to do, no matter what sex you are. America, baby.
Yeah, I see. Mike had another question.
Yep, I was actually getting to that because JD came in just in time to answer it.
Yep.
So, JD, we're going to kick it off to you to answer this one. How do you define preparedness? Is it survival, self-sufficiency, peace of mind? How do you define it?
Well, yes. All the above. Being able to self-sufficiency will give you a peace of mind, I think. The more prepared you are, the better. Even if you just have everything stockpiled, one is none, two is one, at least. You can find someone in your group that would be able to help you with it. I mean, you can't do it by yourself.
I like that. That's an excellent answer.
Yeah.
OVP, how do you define it?
I think it's kind of all three. I mean, it's definitely survival, and what was the other one? Self-sufficiency, absolutely. And then, of course, that alone gives you peace of mind, that hey, if the power goes out for a week or two, we're good, So, yeah, it's all three, I would say.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Half ready, how do you define it?
Well, you got to say it's all three, but I'm a self-sufficiency. You have to be self-sufficient. My very first video when I decided to start making content was called "Are You Self-Sufficient?" So self-sufficiency will lend itself to the other two items, right? But and that's why I started the handyman videos. And look, y'all may not see me digging in doing the things that I do because I have a hard time running the camera and doing what I do. But my videos are aimed at you. Use your mind and your resources to find what you need to find. I just want to get your brain rolling in the right direction. But that all evolves around self-sufficiency. My very next video was, am I crazy? So I still have yet to be determined, but I feel a little crazy sometimes. And in this prepping world, you can, but no, it's all about self-sufficiency. It's you can't bank on anybody but you, right? You can't bank. Look, when Helene hit down here, it didn't matter if you dialed 911. Nobody was answering the phone if you could get it to ring. And if it rang at the 911 call center and someone answered, the radios were down. They couldn't even tell the police officer and the fire department what was happening to you. And then there were millions, not thousands, millions of trees laying across that they couldn't get to you, right? So that right there, if you're self-sufficient, that covers the survival and the starvation side of that equation.
Yep. I will agree with that. My only thing is to make sure that you have the balance is the way that I do preparedness. So you are balancing being prepared for today. You are prepared for your work, for your family, for spirituality, for mentally. You are prepared to take a break and to work hard. For me, I define it as having a good balance to do whatever comes next.
Right.
So let's see. I had some more. Here we go.
Christina's had a good one.
What would you call your specialty of preparedness? OVP, what's yours?
I try to learn as many skills as possible because you know what? Your food, your water, everything that you store is not going to last forever. If it ends up being a long-term thing, all you're going to have left after a certain amount of time is your ability to get more things, whether it's growing food or filtering water or making fire, I think your skills are the most important thing if it's going to be something long-term. Yeah. So that's what I kind of focus on is skills.
Perfect. JD, what's your specialty?
Probably gardening, vegetable gardening and canning.
Nice.
Food preparation, that kind of thing. I mean, kind of a jack of all, ace of none. Because I mean, I can make keys. I have a key machine. I work on watches all day long, so I can tinker with different things like that. I know a little bit about mechanics. I can fix pretty much everything that we break around here. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, but probably just gardening to answer your question. Nice. Half ready.
I mean,
we got to know what's your specialty, man.
Well, at this point in the game, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none myself. I try to do everything I can here, but at the end of the day, now that our prepper journey with my group has gone as far as it's gone, I guess my special at this point is administration, leadership, right? Don't panic in this. That's the delegation of things. These are where I am in our prepper journey now. With my group.
Yes. Yeah. And I think mine
What?
Uh-oh.
Where'd he go?
Does that mean he has no specialty?
I don't know where they went. I guess it's just me and you, JD.
Okay.
I don't know where everybody went.
Hang
There we
on.
go. We got
Hang
roll
on.
back.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Hopefully Half Ready comes back.
Where'd you guys go?
I don't know. You know the way that my internet likes to do things on crazy Ohio days. So I'm trying to make sure I didn't.
Is it snowing yet?
All
Not
right.
snowing yet.
We'll just continue on and pretend that like nothing ever happened, and hopefully.
Okay. Anyway, Rural, what's your specialty?
Yeah, we'll hope Half Ready comes back. I'm going to say that my specialty is being the 2IC, right? Being there for whatever needs to where I can be as helpful as I can to get the situation resolved. I'm pretty sure that is a full specialty. There he is. Yay!
Now we're all backwards.
That was really weird because it said I was still in there.
He's up there. Okay.
That was weird. That was
That
weird.
was really weird, man.
Okay.
Good deal. We're back.
Okay. Let's go to this one. What is the biggest misconception about preppers that you have encountered? Half Ready, since you're the last one back, you're the first to answer.
Well, I think that we all have this huge bunker built under our house or in our backyard, and we have millions of rounds of ammunition and weapons and explosives.
Wait a minute. You mean you don't?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Allegedly.
But no, I think we're all very militant. That's just. I'm not saying that's not the case in some. It is. They generally form militias and do their militant thing, right?
Right.
But
Right.
I think the vast majority, especially guys our age, right? We're not fighting men anymore. But our goal is to continue the society as we love it. So we have a little different thing about prepping. But yeah, I think the biggest misconception that we're all a bunch of damn militiamen and we just go to the woods and train all the time. You should. You should
I'd
train.
like that, but
Don't get me wrong.
that
Yeah,
don't pay
you
the
should
bills,
train.
does it?
Yeah, really.
No.
OVP?
I gotta agree with Mark. Is people think, yeah, we got a bunker and we got like claymores in the woods and we got enough ammunition to occupy France, even though that's probably a bad example. And being stacked to the ceilings and yeah, I think that's what a lot of people think, and that's why they call us crazy, because they think, well, these guys are planning on doing something like what's that movie? Is it Silo or something? We're all going to dig in for 1,000 years, and they don't understand that most of what we want to do is just prepare for our family and to help other people. We're not planning on emerging from our bunker 1,000 years from now and seeing what's left. But
Well, do you guys remember Doomsday Preppers, the TV show?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I used to kind of like watching that, but at times I was like, that guy's nuts. Come on now.
It started out pretty good, and then it got into the extreme you know,
Yeah.
the bunkers and the RPGs and the, you know, I got 3 tanks and it got crazy. When it first started, it was a good show, and then it got just out in left field somewhere. But
Yeah.
Yeah. JD,
That was
what's the
pretty cool
biggest
though,
one?
looking back on it, seeing the Angry Prepper, Jason, him being on it.
yeah,
And Dave, the was that Southern Prepper 1 or something?
Yeah.
He was on it. He's the one. He was like on one of the first shows, and they asked him to help out making the show from there on out, rating people and things. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, JD, what's the biggest misconception that you've encountered?
Same thing. I mean, people think that, you know, if I don't tell anybody, I don't say, well, I'm a prepper, because I don't really think I'm a prepper. I just think I'm well prepared, or try to be well prepared. I mean, I kind of grew up that way. My family, my grandmothers and that, they always canned, and I was the youngest of the 3 boys in our family. So I probably helped them most after they left and went on. I still did it. And so I learned how to cook. I learned how to, you know, do the canning and all the process like that. Now we didn't have a pressure cooker. We, you know, water bathed everything or waxed it. Where since my wife and I got into this and started doing it more and more, probably after 2020, something like that, is when we really got into it deep. We bought pressure canners. I never did that before, you know. That was a whole new deal.
Oh yeah.
Because then you got to do meat, you know. You could can meat and different things like that. And so what's the craziest part of it? I don't know. I think the biggest misconception would be, like, you know, everybody's a prepper, has tons of guns and in a bunker somewhere.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll throw in, I think my misconception is that as soon as you hear somebody that labels themselves as a prepper, that they're going to 100% going to survive. That they've got everything covered, and no matter what happens, they're going to ride out everything.
No, I like that. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
They bought everything.
Have enough room for everybody that needs you to just show up at your freaking house, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's not, you know, I mean, it could all hit the fan, and I could walk out the front door and get murked by the neighbor 30 seconds later, be the first one gone. You know?
You could get smoked in an hour and a half after.
Yeah, right. So,
yes. Katrinka had a good question. Why are we considered prepper crazy when our ancestors did this and it was just a normal way of life? Now, Freddie, what do you think?
Because not everybody's ancestors did that.
Well, I think because they think that they don't understand the bubble that we live in, right? They don't understand the bubble that we live in. So it's so easy just to stop at look, I have a friend, I love him, but he does every day. He stops at the grocery store, right? And so, but it's so easy to do this. And there's so many people who live in a large metropolitan city that they just walk by the barrio on their way to the house, you know, and pick up what they need for the evening meal. And I think it's become such, you know, since the 70s, I guess, maybe, you know, that this bubble's not ever going to be pricked, right? The bubble's never going to pop. So why do you work as hard as you work? Because it's hard work, and they know that. That's why they don't do it.
Yeah.
It's hard work. And so, yeah, I think maybe that's why. But yes, I agree. Our ancestors were preppers. I learned prepping from my ancestors.
What do you have, JD?
I don't think everybody's ancestors were. I mean, there was always those people that lived in a quote unquote city and bought everything. You know, they didn't like some of the people that live in apartments and keep one can of soup and, you know, and go out and eat every day and get their latte in the morning kind of thing. I think there was always those people. And then there were us that lived, you know, in the country that had to cut corners to make things work and, you know, didn't have everything, you know, didn't live by day because they didn't know what was coming tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. OVP, what do you got?
Well, even in my little area, okay, this is a rural community. Back when I was a kid, everybody canned, you know, everybody had a pantry, you know, it was just normal. And even here, it's nobody does that anymore. Okay. The people outside of town, you know, the rural community still does, but the younger people don't know how to do it and they don't worry about it. They don't understand why we do what we do when you can just run to the store and grab whatever you need. They know, think about, well, what if the store is not open? Well, if it's not open today, it'll be open tomorrow. Okay. Well, what if it's not open this week or the next week or the week after that? They don't think of these things. Life has become too convenient. You know, it's too easy. So they don't ever think of what happened if this convenience that they're used to goes away all of a sudden. So,
yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hudson Valley's got a good one here.
Yes, he does.
How has your personal philosophy about prepping changed over time?
Great question.
That's a great question. Does
That
anybody want to volunteer? Who wants to go first?
I'm game on, baby.
Go for it.
Okay.
Hey, look,
Whatever.
If your philosophy hasn't changed since you started prepping, you're not doing it right. Because, you know, when I first started, it was all about pile up a bunch of, same thing every angry young man does, pile up a bunch of guns and bullets and take what you need, right? But I have evolved, and there are several stages, and I'm sure y'all will know exactly, but I have evolved to sustainable prepping. Homesteading, basically.
Yep.
That's where you have to be trying to get to. And when I first started prepping, there's no way I'm going to pile enough shit in my house to live forever, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to pile enough ammunition in my house to take what I need to live forever, right?
Yep.
That look, that's a plan. And I tell young men that. Well, at least you have a plan. It's a piss poor plan, but you have one. So, yeah, I love that question. Had me thinking right off when I read it.
JD, how has your prepping philosophy changed?
It's a lot more work. So like I said, you know, we've always kind of did a little bit until 2016, 2018, 2020. It started ramping up, and you know, we went with the pressure canners and different things like that. But you know, there's a lot more work to it than what people think. And don't just run out to the store and buy a case of this and case of this and case of this. And look, you buy what you eat. You know, I mean, if you don't eat fruit cocktail every day, don't buy a case of it. You know, buy a couple cans of it. But if you eat green beans 3-5 times a week, you know, then you can maybe buy a case of it. You know, and things like that. That was my biggest take from it is buy what you eat. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's a lot more work, inventory, you know, rotation, you know, things like that. You can't just buy a bunch of stuff and stuff it in the closet and forget about it.
That's right. No, you're right.
It's a lot of work. It really is a lot of work. It's a hobby. It's a really big hobby, I guess.
Yeah.
You might look at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it does. OVP, I'm not sure if it's you or the cat wants to answer, but one of you take it.
Oh, well, I don't know. You want to take this one? Oh, okay. Well, I think my journey's kind of been normal. I mean, like JD said, you start out and you start stocking your house full of stuff. And then you come to the point where you realize, well, okay, this is only going to last me so long. This has an end date. Okay, this is not going to last forever. So you start turning towards being more self-sufficient. Like right now, we're looking for some property to start a homestead. Nice. And we've talked about this before. I kind of think that's just like the natural progression of prepping. You start off stocking stuff you need in your house. And then it just expands. And sooner or later, you're starting to look into homesteading, because I think that's just where you end up. If you're serious about prepping, down the road, that's where you end up, is going, okay, now I need to be self-sufficient. I need to start growing my own food and, have a water filtration system, maybe collecting rainwater and things like that. So that's where we're looking to do now, as soon as the property, hopefully the property values come down and stuff like that. But, so yeah, I mean, like I said, I started out like everybody else did, just stocking stuff in my house, and now we're beyond that and trying to move down the road. So,
Right.
Yeah. Very, very, very good. Vision has a good question, and then we'll go back around. So we'll start with OVP. So Vision, who is one person you want to sit down with and talk preparedness?
You know what?
All you guys.
I wish my grandparents were still around, because I learned a lot from my grandfather, my grandmother. My grandfather had a pretty large garden, and my grandmother did all the canning and stuff like that. And I wish I paid more attention when I was younger. I had to like relearn a lot of stuff that I should already know. So I kind of wish my grandparents were here so I could sit down with them and say, hey, because like I said, that was back before prepper was a thing. But, I mean, if something happened, I remember being a kid, the blizzard of 78 hit. And we did, you couldn't leave the house for like a week, well, we never had any issues at all. I mean, it was never like, oh no, we can't leave the house. There was no panic. My grandmother had a pantry full of stuff canned and a huge freezer full of meat, and I don't remember the power going out, so I don't think we had a problem with that, but it was no big deal. So I wish I would have learned more from them when they were around, and if I could go back and do it over, I would. So.
Very good. Very good. All right, JD, what about you? Who are you sitting with?
What's that?
Who are you sitting with? What's your pick?
Well, I don't know.
It's a tough question.
It is a tough question.
Yeah, it kind of threw me off, because I started thinking a lot about what OVP said about the blizzard 78, and we were stuck in a motel. We were on our way to Florida, and we were stuck in Kentucky. They shut down 75, and we got in this motel, and there was no power. And my mom pulls out this big bag, and it's full of Vienna sausages, peanut butter, crackers, things like that. And my dad duct taped the door, because wind was blowing in and snow was blowing in, and it was like, oh, wow. Why'd you have duct tape? Why'd you have all this, crackers and stuff,
Right. That was back before it was prepping. It was just like normal back then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the cheapest one.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my grandmother next door, she grew up there. They had grapes, they had raspberries, they had apple trees, they had, they had all that stuff. They utilized it. I mean, that's what they ate. They didn't go to the store, and if they did, it was, it was a delicacy to go and get bread and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, she just made everything, Yep. I don't remember a time seeing my grandmother without an apron on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then my grandpa, he raised pigs out back. I don't remember him. It was before me, but I just found out from a farmer the other day that he raised pigs. That was kind of cool.
Nice.
Very just
cool.
Grew up on.
Half ready. Who are you sitting down with?
Dr. William Fortune, the man who wrote the book 1 Second After.
Ooh.
He
how
is
cool.
a prepper. He is a prepper, but that he is the king of what if, right? And I tell you all the time, we play the what if game. That's what we do as preppers. We play the what if game. What if this happened right now? If you're not playing the what if game, you're not in the prepper game.
Yep.
So we have this much resource, right? And we have to spend it wisely. So I would love to sit down and have a 2-day weekend with Dr. Bill Fortune and just pick his brain because he is the king of what if, right? Again, I miss my grandparents too, guys. Don't get me wrong. My grandma and grandpa were awesome, and they lived the life of a poor farmer. So, but at this point, we have relearned most of those skills,
Right.
and equipped ourselves to do that. But now I want to know what to spend the research on. And again, this is part of that evolution thing we were talking about. Part of the evolution is moving on from, oh God, I need to learn how to can, but I don't know how to can, so I learned how to can. Now I need to know, well, what do I need to grow or kill to can that's going to more bang for my buck? And I think Dr. Fortune would be the man for that job.
Oh yeah, 100%. I fully.
I just love that book.
Yeah, great book.
I'm
really
worried
really
about the
gave
video.
me
I'm worried
focus.
about the film, the movie that's coming out.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope it's great. But
I know.
that book, reading that book, really gave me. Well, it takes place in Black Mountain, which is about 14 miles from me. So it really let me focus my prepper energy, right? It gave me focus, and at a time in my life when I didn't have a lot of focus. So no, I would really love to sit down with the guy.
Love it. I got to throw my 2 cents in.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to go with Les Stroud.
Oh, no doubt.
That's a good one too. Yeah.
Godfather of being on television and being into preparedness, of Survivor Man. So that is one gentleman I'd love to see.
He has a cooking show now.
Oh, he has a ton of shows. That dude's more busy now than ever.
That is man, that cat is a bushcrafter like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No, I like that Angry American. And look, I've read every one of his. I could have said Franklin Horton too. Another great what if guy. I'm a big fan of those guys' books, and I know if you watch Angry American now, it's a little crazy. He's a little bit out there, but dude, those guys have thought through the what if process. That's what I'm saying, and we all need to do that. What if blah 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 happens?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about that's why I read all those books. I'm a huge book reader, but those guys, that what if thing is awesome.
I see a really good one by Gigi here, and we'll go back around. So we'll start with Half Ready. What is the biggest prepping mistake that you've made along the way?
Maybe it's things I didn't purchase, but I think the biggest mistake I made was early on. I focused on the militant side, and then I got super hyper focused after I read Dr. Fortune's book and on EMPs. And I think I might have used a lot of resources that I could have used more wisely on that. Don't get me wrong. I am prepared for an EMP somewhat, but I'm glad I am. I still think it's a possibility, but we talked about the scale of likelihood and expense. And I think EMP is like this, and weather events are more like this. Yeah. So I've rechanged my focus, but yes, I wasted a lot of resources on EMPs and CMEs.
Yeah. JD, what about you?
Food, like I was saying earlier, is I think I bought too much food of the wrong kind in the very beginning. See, I kind of got a weird situation here where it's my wife and I live in this house, but I would have, if something would happen big, I would have my mother, which is 87 years old, coming to live with us, and my daughter and her husband coming to live with us. So as far as food rotation, it's just my wife and I eating that food. So I bought a ton of food, but we're not able to eat that much. See what I'm saying? You get what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
so buying the wrong amount of food, I guess, is what I did wrong.
Yeah. OVP, what was your mistake?
I'd say when I first started, I focused too much on gear. I was a gear junkie, which, hey, I mean, we got to admit, buying gear is fun. It is. You know, we all love buying gear. But if you don't have any food and water stored up, the gear's not really going to do you any good, you know.
You're right.
Unless your only plan is I'm going to go out and live in the woods for the rest of my life, and that's a bad plan. I mean, like Mark said before, it's a plan. It's not a good one, but it's a plan.
It's a plan.
So yeah, when I first started, I was a gear junkie, you know, but I got lucky because my wife is the one who started stocking food and you know, buying freeze-dried food and canned food and stocking, you know, supplies like, you know, shampoo and you know, things like that, hygiene products and, you know, dude wipes and things like that. And so I got lucky that she was taking care of that while I was off going, ooh, this is pretty and shiny, you know. So my mistake didn't cost me as bad as it could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That goes back on that woman thing. Behind every surviving prepper at the end of the day, there's probably a good woman back there somewhere. Okay.
Yeah. And she did a good job. I mean, I got to admit, you know, she really did an excellent job. She's probably more of the prepper than I am. I'm more of the survivalist, and I think I've said that before. But so,
yeah, and I will. I'll chip in, and I will say that for me, my biggest mistake that I've made was hyper focusing. So not finding that balance. I would want gear, and I would work really hard towards that gear, and my family would suffer. Friends would suffer. My sleep would suffer. Then once you realize that, you would take a step back, and then now all of a sudden everything else is suffering. So finding that balance, that was always my biggest mistake.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And we're getting low on time, but I see that Hudson has this question right here. What do you believe is the most immediate threat people are overlooking right now?
Wow.
OVP, what do you think?
That's
probably probably just a currency collapse. I mean,
okay.
You know, I think a lot of people. I'm going to use my area as an example again. If it don't happen in your front yard around here, most people don't know it's happening. You know, so they don't understand how close we are to a complete disaster. With the, you know, our currency is in bad shape. We'll just put it that way. And I think it's either that or this whole the immigrant thing. Okay, I don't think a lot of these people are here with the best intentions, and I really don't like what's going on in New York City right now. I'm not going to get into all that, but let's just say I don't think it's very good. And I think a lot of people are just blind to it because they just kind of live in their own little world. And if it don't happen in their front yard, then it don't happen.
Yeah. JD, what do you think everybody's overlooking?
I don't know. I mean,
these are hard questions tonight.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like hard questions.
I do too.
Yeah.
Half ready, you take it. We'll come back to JD, see if he's getting it.
Well, you know, this is one of those questions you have to dig deep, and because we do what we do, we are consumed by these what if games sometimes. And the economic collapse of our currency won't be, and I love that. Debt is a huge part of what's going to cause this currency collapse. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it is, but it's not a local problem. That's global.
Yeah.
And if it's global, this is a huge catastrophe. This is nuclear war capability economically. So yeah, I would have to agree with you, OVP, that we're overlooking that.
Yeah.
But again, if you're a prepper and you're working towards that sustainable prepping thing, the fact that you don't have any money or the rest of the world's losing their damn mind, you should be able to continue your existence and your society, right?
Yep.
That's what we do. So, but yeah, that's a humongous worldwide problem if that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so. Did you think of one, JD?
Well, who can see ahead, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really know. What do I think? I been prepping for so long, and what do you prep for? You try to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you wish you knew what's going to happen. You know, if it was a war heading your way, okay, you know what to do. But and if it's an EMP, okay, you know what to do. You know, so all you can do is do a little bit of everything. I mean, you spread it out. What do I think is going to happen? I don't know. I
agree with JD. It's probably going to be something that we're not even thinking of. You know,
exactly.
We run through all these scenarios, and it's going to be, you know, an asteroid or something that's not even on our minds. You know, so
and
that's probably what's going to happen.
Who's to say? Why does something have to happen?
Yeah, true.
Nothing may happen. Only thing that's going to change is what happens in politics, and you never know what's going to go there.
Yeah,
and it's probably going back to what you guys are talking about as a currency. Usually, whatever happens in the UK eventually works its way here. So
and the UK is a mess right now, an absolute mess.
Well, it's usually whatever happens there works its way here.
Boy, I hope
you just watch it. I'm telling you.
Yeah. If anybody's been paying attention to what's going on over there, boy, we're in trouble.
Yeah,
so,
I'm serious. You can look back and yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And for me, I would end up saying we're all correct. Whatever your answer is.
Yeah, whatever your answer is.
Whatever your answer is, it's correct because it's more than likely it's going to be a mixture of 101 things. And it's going to affect you. It's going to affect me. Who knows what's going to happen? But
whatever pricks the bubble's going to burst. Right?
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
Besides the fact that you have your daily issues and family and friends to work with, you always are having, situations.
The personal SHTF. Right?
Yes.
It happens to all of us. Happened to me in January. I understand. Yeah. That could be what you're overlooking. Okay. Your personal SHTF.
Yeah. Fully agree. But
stop it, V.
We've hit our time. So here, let me redo this. Let me put you there. All right. So we'll start with Half Ready, go to OVP. I'll take it, and then we'll end with JD. So Half Ready, what's your words of wisdom to round us out?
You tell the ones you love that you love them. Play the what if game while you're pumping gas tomorrow. What would happen if this happened right now? And keep doing what you do. Try to stay informed. Keep your head on a swivel.
Perfection. OVP, words of wisdom.
Learn as many skills as you can. You know, we can only store so much stuff, stock so much stuff. And even if you're growing your own food, maybe you have a drought or something that takes out your crop. So just learn as many skills as you can, because if something long term happens, that's what's going to save you.
Yes. Yes, very true. I'll take my turn, and then we'll let JD wrap it up. Folks, hard days are coming. We don't know, as we just discussed, how hard they are going to be. It may affect you. It may affect me. It may affect all of us. We don't know. We don't have a fortune teller to tell us everything. My only advice, don't let the hard days win. Keep it up. Do what you're doing. You'll be all right. JD, you got the last word, brother.
Okay, well, first, listen to Roll every morning. That'll get you on your way.
I do.
Awesome.
But personally, probably when you plant your crops, don't plant a little bit of everything. Plant like more onions and cabbage one year and a little bit of this. And then next year, plant a lot of tomatoes and make things with that, like maybe a couple cabbage. And do things like that. Don't plant a little bit of everything every year. Do a big crop of something one year. It just makes it easier for the following year.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of trying to do everything every year.
Yeah.
That's all I got, man.
No, I love it. I love it.
I hope to be able to get back on with you guys again, because I had a heck of a time. My laptop wouldn't hook up. Just wouldn't work. I had to go to my phone.
But yeah, blame me on that one. But yeah, we'll definitely have you back on. So, but everybody, thank you so much. You could have been doing anything else, but you chose to came here and hang out with the four of us. So I greatly appreciate that. JD, you're awesome. Thank you for joining us, and we will definitely have you back on. Who's got next? OVP. Okay, so make sure that you guys go over and check out OVP. And
actually, I already scheduled it. So if you want to hit the remind me thing, it's already up.
Perfect. Excellent. All right, we'll see you guys next week over on OVP's channel. And with that, guys, we are out of here.